So, this lesson is about reviewing the genres of reading. You have been learning genres of reading for a while now, so hopefully, this lesson is just a quick review. So, when we think about our I can statement, your goal is to understand the different genres. A definition is a genre means a type of art, literature, or music characterized by a specific form, by content, meaning what's inside, or the style of writing. So we start off with books, of course, and then they break down into fiction books and nonfiction books. Nonfiction books are all the factual books, fiction is made up. So if we break down fiction into some subgenres, we have fantasy, science fiction, historical fiction, realistic fiction, and fan fiction. And there are lots of other kinds of fiction too. These are not all the ones in the world. We have like mystery, adventure, and all those kind of books. For nonfiction, we have narrative nonfiction. Narrative means it's told like in a story form, but it is still all true. So it's narrative nonfiction. We have biographies about people's lives written by someone else. Periodicals are like articles in magazines, self help books, and reference books like encyclopedias. Okay, on this slide, this is a nice little chart that gives you the definition of each genre and a quick little cheat sheet. So you are more than welcome to use this anytime. We have traditional literature. Those are stories that are passed down from one group to another in history, and they usually are including folk tales, legends, fables, fairy tales, tall tales, and mythology from different cultures. We also have fantasy. They usually include elements that are impossible, like talking animals, magical powers, make believe. Usually, if I see magic, I will assume that it's fantasy unless it is magic that happened from a folk tale, a fable, a fairy tale. Then, if it was passed down, I would say it was traditional literature. But if it's more modern day, I would say it's fantasy. And then a type of fantasy is called sci fi or science fiction. This is where they use science and technology like robots, time travel. Then we have realistic fiction. Those are things that could actually happen in today's world. They're made up characters, though. Historical fiction is also some elements might be real, like a real life person, but they're thrown in a fictional, conflict or something like that. Usually, the setting is real because it's in history, but the characters are made up from the author's imagination. There might actually be some true characters in there, but usually the main characters are made up. We've got mystery, which is suspense about something puzzling that's not solved till the very end. Then we have nonfiction, and in nonfiction, we have informational. Those are just books about a variety of topics like sports, animals, science, history, careers, and so on. We have biography, a story of a real person's life written by someone else. Autobiography, the story of a real person's life written by that person. And then a genre all by itself is called poetry. Those are, it's verse written to create a response of thought and feeling. They're written in stanzas, not paragraphs. They have rhyme sometimes, but they definitely have a rhythm. They all still have a theme. Now, check out this flow chart to figure out the genre of any book. So you start off by saying, is my book real or fake? Let's say my book was real. Then you ask this question, is it about a person? The answer is yes. You go down and follow this flow chart. Did the subject of the book also write about it? If the answer is yes, then it's an autobiography. The answer is no, it's a biography. So that's how this flow chart works. I would test it out with a book that you have. You start with the question on the top and you follow the arrows as you answer each question. Now, if you're getting to this section of the slides, it's where you're practicing your genres. You're going to use that flow chart in the previous slide to figure out the genre of each of these books. Now, sometimes when I'm trying to figure out the genre, I can't tell by the cover or the title. I need more information. I usually need a summary. So if you need that summary, what you're going to have to do is, let's say, for example, on this one, I hyperlinked all of these books, and it's going to take you to a website. And this one actually takes you inside Amazon. And then in Amazon, if you scroll down, they usually have a summary down here. On this one, it doesn't seem like it does. It has a review. Let's see here. You scroll up. If you hit read more, and then there's the summary right here where my cursor is. And so that's how you can kind of tell, and you can use these summary clues to help you figure it out. Another cool feature is looking inside. If you click on that, it gives you some options. It can, if you go over here, it'll say book sections cover the beginning, and it'll let you kind of look at the beginning pages of the book. I'll show you another quick example. Let's say, for example, this book right here, and it's going to take you to a website called Goodreads. And if you get on there, right here, it tells you the summary right here, right? You might have to click more to read the entire summary, and that should help you figure out the genre. All right, here we go. So let's go back to the slides. One other feature I added is once you guess the genre, then what you're going to do is grab the corners and you'll drag it down, and then it's going to give you an answer key. So you have to just drag it all the way down and you'll see the answer. So I won't show you the answer for that one just yet. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next slide. So that's a good way to practice and check yourself. If you want, you can even write the answers on in your reader's notebook. So when you're ready, your next step is to practice with Quizlet. So this is a required set of Quizlet flashcards I want you to try. And if you feel like you would like to try the advanced set, go for it. And then after that, I want you to practice by asking yourself, am I ready? Am I ready for the quiz? If you are 5, excellent, bring on the quiz. 4, feeling great, you should probably take the quiz. 3, if you're not feeling too bad, but you want to use a little bit of practice or review, I'd like for you to still practice a little bit and still take the quiz. If you're at a 2 or a 1, you may not be ready today. So then we go to the next slide, and you're going to choose your learning status, this or that. If you are ready, you jump on Schoology and you take the quiz. It's going to be called Reading Genres Quiz. If you need more practice, you will take the quiz tomorrow. All right, and that takes you to the end of your reading for the first lesson.